Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over my wildcard draft for Game Week 30. I've activated it, I'm ready to go. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, what are your plans for FPL Game Week 30, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, let's go over my goalkeeper and my defenders. So, in goal, we have Raya this week, who has Fulham at home. I've had Raya pretty much all season, apart from like the first few game weeks when I had Henderson from Crystal Palace. But the fact that Arsenal are very, very likely to double up in 33 just makes me want to have more Arsenal players even more. They are going to blank in 34, but of course, my chip strategy is Game Week 30 wildcard. Most likely going to be triple captaining Isak in Game Week 32. And then, of course, free hit 34, potentially bench boost 33, bench boost 36, depends how the kind of fixtures lay out. But the main reason I used my wildcard was just because I had so many injuries. I had Chris Wood injured, Morgan Gibbs-White is a doubt, obviously Palmer is a doubt. I had Mikalenko, who's a doubt. Trent, who was obviously out, and I had no City apart from Gvardiol. I had no Palace, I had no Arsenal barring Raya. It just made sense really to get all of that kind of terrible sort of situations out of my team so I can bring in everyone and really attack the fixtures coming up. So that's why I decided to do it in the end. But yeah, Raya in goal, who has Fulham at home this week. And then at the back, I've gone Kerkez, who's got Ipswich at home, Munoz, who's got Southampton away, and then Gvardiol, who's got Leicester at home. So Kerkez, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep or not. I might get rid of him, I might not. The main reason I kept him in overnight was because he was about to have a price rise, which he did get. I don't know if it made a difference to my selling price, but it was nice to just get that 0.1 extra anyway. And I might go with him anyway. It's going to be between Kerkez and probably somebody like Konza or an Aston Villa defender, because they're obviously most likely going to be doubling in 33 as well, or yeah, 33 should I say. So yeah, I don't know, I could easily keep Kerkez for Ipswich at home, West Ham, and then decide to bring in a Villa defender, because Konza, Mings, players like that, they're not all like fully nailed, so I don't really want to go for one of them and then obviously have to transfer them out because they're getting benched and stuff. So maybe I need a little bit more information for that, because they do still have Champions League football as well, so that obviously comes into the equation. So I'm absolutely fine with Kerkez. I did bring him in for very cheap as well. I brought him in for I don't even know how much I brought him in for. It was very, very cheap. I think I brought him in for like 4.6 or 4.7, something like that. So obviously he's a lot more expensive now, coming in at 5.3, but he's just a solid player to have, so I really like having him as an option. Munoz with Southampton away, obviously this week, very, very good. The double, not great from a defensive point. They may also be doubling in 33 as well, but again, with Munoz, the clean sheets are just an extra bonus. You're mainly bringing this guy in because he's so attacking on that on the flank. So yeah, absolutely fine with having Munoz. I did get rid of him before Game Week 29, and now I'm bringing him right back. So I had to spend an extra little bit of money on him to bring him back in, but it is what it is. And then Gvardiol with Leicester at home. I think he had a price rise as well. I think I brought him in for 5.9, and he's 6. Oh, he's still 6 now. He might be having a price rise tonight. Yeah, the back line obviously looks very, very good this week, and it should, because obviously I'm on a wildcard draft. So very happy with the goalkeeper and the defenders. It's just the Kerkez situation that I might switch to a Villa defender or not. I'm not 100% sure. But either way, those are my defenders and my goalkeeper for my starting 11 this week. Coming up next, we have our midfield. We have Salah, who's got Everton at home, Sarr, who's got Southampton away, Kluivert, who's got Ipswich at home, and then Saka, who's got Fulham at home as well. Salah is my current captaincy, even though there's a lot of really good options this week. Mateta's got Southampton away, Marmoush's got Leicester at home. Obviously, you've got other players that have got Southampton. You could even go Isak, who's got Brentford. But I don't know. I'm just going to stick it on Salah because he's the safest pick. Everton have obviously been very good defensively, but Salah just seemingly gets so many penalties this season. I feel like he'll nick one of them at some point. But yeah, he's in my current draft and as my current captain. I feel like if Haaland was fine, then maybe that would potentially change things. But if you weren't aware, Haaland potentially could be missing the rest of the season. So Marmoush stocks have just absolutely shot up overnight, even though they were shooting up anyway. But yeah, he's pretty much going to be playing every game now, so that's a very nice way into that City attack. It's another reason why I wanted to wildcard now, because if I waited until next week, he might have another like 2-3 price rises by then, so it's just more money that I could be saving by wildcarding now. But either way, Salah, who's got Everton at home, we've got Sarr with Southampton away, again on the back of 2 double-digit hauls. I don't know. Obviously, I can't afford Eze. which is why I've gone Saar. If I had the money, maybe I go Eze, just simply because he's on set pieces. He's a little bit, I'd like to think he's a little bit more attacking, but Saar's numbers are actually very, very good going forward. So with how cheap he is, I think he's just going to be the player that I just end up going with. I mean, I can't go Eze either, unless obviously I take kind of a hit somewhere else, but absolutely fine running with Saar. Kluivert in the team as well with Ipswich at home. Hopefully he doesn't get benched, because obviously they did just have the FA Cup at the weekend. I'd like to think that he'll play regardless. On penalties, Ipswich at home, very, very nice fixture. Bournemouth have just got really nice fixtures coming up, to be fair. They've got 2 away fixtures in the next 5, and that's West Ham and Crystal Palace, so not terrible. But then the home fixtures are all pretty nice teams as well, Ipswich, Fulham, and Man United. And then Saka was another reason that I did wildcard. I mean, it's still and ahhing whether he's going to start. Mikel Arteta's comments were very, very positive about Salah. Like, they were asking if he's ready to start, and he was saying, like, yeah, he's ready to go. Because you can't think that maybe he kind of, like, gets sort of slowly put back into the starting 11, but apparently he's already done all that. Apparently that he's kind of done all those sort of exercises and stuff to kind of get match ready. So I'm not expecting him to play the full 90, but I think he will start. And again, you could go Palmer instead of Saka, but we don't even know Palmer's going to play, and that press conference isn't until tomorrow, so it's just no need to risk that. And Saka's the player I want going forward anyway, so it just saves me a transfer down the line. I did have a free transfer, obviously, going into the wild card, so I'll have 2 next week, which is quite nice. So if anything does go really, really wrong, I'll have a couple of transfers to kind of rectify that. But yeah, I do really like the midfield. I think it's very, very template. My wild card is very, very template. I'm completely aware of that, but I'm not going to just make it not template just for the hell of it. Like, I'm trying to get the best rank I possibly can, and these are the players that I think will allow me to get that. But either way, those are my midfielders for my Game Week 30 wildcard. Coming up front, we have Mateta, who's got Southampton away, Isak, who's got Brentford at home, and then Marmoush, who's got Leicester at home as well. And then we'll also go over the bench in a second as well. But yeah, I mean, this is just the front three that everyone's going with, really. I mean, João Pedro kind of comes into the equation a little bit more now as well, just simply because I think the Brighton press conference today said like 2 players were injured or something. I think one of them was Ruter as well. So João Pedro, you'd like to think he's going to start every single game. And yeah, I mean, he's obviously a good pick on penalties, very, very cheap. But I just, like, who do you get rid of for João Pedro? Like, you can't get rid of Mateta. He's got Southampton this week, and he's got a double coming up, potentially 2 doubles coming up. So you cannot get rid of Mateta. Isak, again, probably going to be triple captained in Game Week 32. He's got really nice fixtures as well. Leicester away next week. It's just, like, you can't get rid of him. And then Marmoush, easy way into that City attack. Leicester at home this week, probably going to double in 33. It's just, who do you get rid of for João Pedro? You just can't. Like, you have to have all these strikers. So completely understand why people are going João Pedro, because, like I say, cheap, should be playing on penalties, but I mean, I can't get rid of any of these 3. And Marmoush might also be on penalties as well. You never know, because obviously Haaland's injured. So that is my wild card kind of starting 11 this week. And then my bench, we've got Areola in goal, who's got Wolves away. Gordon, who's got Brentford at home. Gabriel, who's got Fulham at home. And then Livramento, who's got Brentford at home as well. So, I mean, the bench is very, very strong. Obviously, I can't bench boost this week because I'm wildcarding. The reason I've gone Areola, obviously, just because he's a cheap playing goalkeeper and he's going to be very useful for the bench boost. I've gone Gordon just because I prefer him to Murphy. He obviously is suspended, but I think there's been positive updates. I think he did obviously have a slight knock as well, but I think there's been positive updates today saying that, you know, he should be fine for Game Week 31. So hopefully that's all good. And I mean, I want him for Leicester away, but if worse comes to worse, then I can just play, you know, maybe 4 at the back instead. But hopefully we can play Gordon next week. I just prefer him to Murphy. He's a lot more expensive, but I like him a lot more. And then Gabriel and Livramento as well. Again, I want a triple Arsenal on this wild card. I want a triple Newcastle. I want a triple Crystal Palace. And then I want a double City and I want a double Bournemouth. And I think I've done that pretty well. And then obviously Salah is Mo Salah, so that's why he's got to be in the draft. I have gone Livramento over Dan Burn just because Burn is on 8 yellows, so he is kind of potentially going to be hitting that ban again soon, and I don't really want to be dealing with that. Livramento's minutes have been fine. He did get subbed early against City when they were obviously losing, and he also got subbed early against Liverpool, but I think he'll be okay, and I don't mind if he gets subbed on like the 70th minute or not if they've got a clean sheet, because sometimes it's better. Sometimes they keep the clean sheet and then they get hooked and then obviously they go and concede. So sometimes it's better, and he's just a bit more attacking than Burn. I was looking at the goal involvements and stuff, and Burns, and there's not a lot between them, but Livramento does have that potential to kind of get an assist and stuff, whereas Dan Burn, you're just kind of hoping he scores off a corner. And then, yeah, gone Gabriel over Saliba just because he's just more dominant on corners and stuff. And especially now that Saka's back, he's going to be taking set pieces. You'd like to think that Gabriel stocks are also going to go up as well. So I think this will be the wildcard draft that I go up with. I think everything's kind of locked in now, apart from potentially Kirkez instead of a Villa defender, but I can easily just transfer them in around that time. And then when Villa do have that double, I'll probably be getting rid of somebody like Kluivert for a Rodgers or something like that. Because I think I've got like 0.2 in the bank. But of course, if I go from Kirkez to Konza, then that's an extra like 0.6. So yeah, it will give me a little bit of extra money in the bank. So yeah, I know, very, very template, but it's just, I think, the best possible wildcard you can kind of have right now. So hopefully it all goes well tonight and we start the wildcard very, very strong, because we are on about 5 red arrows in a row. So I need a green arrow because I forgot what that feels like. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like down below. Leave a comment. What are your plans for Game Week 30? Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell. Have a great rest of your day. Good luck with the game week. And until next time, peace.